live. And we're off. There we go. All right. Let's see if we get sent out to the masses yet. We're waiting on the Book of Face to jump on here. Let's see what happens. See what happens. Well, they're still not jumping on. Let's see if they'll connect with us. Hi, Glenn on YouTube. I don't know. Are we going out over the Book of Face? Hi, everybody. Welcome to All Around Town Radio. We're checking our connection here with the fine folks at the Book of Face today. And if they're not connecting, we're going to have to reconnect this thing and see what shakes here. But let me see if we're up and running yet. Looks like we might be. Let's see. Stand by. This is the way it always works. It never works on a weekday in the middle of the day because the internet connections are so wonderful. Yeah, we're live. We're there. So let's get it started. I've got a special guest today, and we're talking at noon today about a big event going on in Miami's Burg this weekend. And I have the pleasure of being there to be part of this organization and the MC of their event. And we'll talk about that also in a little bit. But let me bring into the program our good friend Devin, if I can get Devin in here. Devin, hi.
Hello, hi.
How are you this morning, afternoon, whatever it is?
Oh, I'm just doing great.
For you, I bet this week is just nuts, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a busy week getting ready for SpringFest this weekend, but we are excited and doing well.
Oh, it's a great event. I got a chance to be part of it last year, and we had some COVID issues through the past and have been involved with it before. And you guys do a great job of putting this event on in the city of Miamisburg. It's a 3-day festival of fun. It is, as I like to call it. So, Devin, tell me a little bit about the history for those that are going to be watching today, the history of how you took this from another event that Miamisburg had that kind of, I hate to say fizzled out, but just wasn't getting the interest and the people helping. And you guys jumped in there and made this thing SpringFest. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so the Miamisburg Spring Fling went on for 38 years before I took it over with my husband. So they did this festival. It's something we kind of grew up going to and attending, and it was always a really fun event. The city in 2019, they kind of made some moves towards the Riverfront Park, which they're renovating really to be an event space. And so basically the Spring Fling Committee they were done with the festival. They didn't want to continue the festival. So my husband and I, Dan, took over and we did our first Spring Fest in 2019. So this will actually be this will be like our 5th year doing it, but then still our just 3rd festival because of COVID.
Well, and last year was so much fun. We had a blast. We had intermittent weather issues. We had things that happened. Unfortunately, had one band get washed out for the evening and those kind of things, which, Mother Nature this time of year can be very unpredictable. And we're hoping this year we're going to get some great weather. And even if it does sprinkle or here and there, we'll still be able to pull this thing off with all the entertainment. We're going to talk about the bands in a little bit, but I want you to talk about as a whole. This festival is for the entire family. So can you give everybody a little bit of, the background as to what you're going to see if you come to SpringFest on all 3 days, and we'll talk about the dates and times also.
Sure. So basically our festival is going all weekend, like Friday night all the way through Sunday. So we have we have a lot of live art. So we have, vendors selling there, probably about 75 vendors selling their art. We'll also have some live art exhibitions. We have our wood carvers coming back, and we'll have some live chalk artists as well. We'll also have our food trucks, carnival rides. We have a parade. And one thing special that we've added this year is the Dayton Children's Kids Gazebo. So we'll have some free activities for the whole family, and we'll be working to raise money for mental health efforts at the hospital.
Well, Devin, as you can see, you went to my heart right there. You mentioned food trucks, and I know
Not
you
the
had some
kids.
great food last year. We all love to eat, but
Yeah.
you had great food last year. But I've seen the ones you've posted this year on the page, and we've got it up there. SpringFest in the Burg on Facebook. If you want to get some more information today, uh, you brought the A list in for food this year. You've got some great stuff.
Yeah, we always have. I love our food. So, of course, Blackjack Grill will be back with their pork chops. I think that's always a favorite. I love the Boy Scouts tent personally. That'll be, they do hamburgers, hot dogs, just the festival staples. Um, we have all types of like treats, desserts. Kona Ice will be back. A lot of really good eats for the weekend.
Well, why the passion for this, Devin? Why you and Dan? I mean, you're young people in Miami's Burg. You're very involved in the community. And why you and Dan, did you take this on? Because this is an immense amount of work to put this committee together and all the people that volunteer and the band list and things. How did you even get in your head one day, I want to do this?
Well, that is a great question. It's all true. Like it is a ton of work. I don't know, we love Miamisburg. Like I said, we grew up going to the spring fling our entire lives. So just to imagine not having that anymore was really sad for me. And so when I took this over when I was still in grad school and I was planning like birthday parties and wedding showers for people. And I was kind of like, maybe I could just do another event. So I chose this huge weekend long event. It's the biggest event in the city. And the city was really supportive. We've had a lot of like outside support and people providing guidance and volunteering and assistance. So it's definitely not just us, but we definitely are like committed to keeping this still happening.
Well, and it's a wonderful event. And like you said, it's a family friendly event. And that's what I love about it as well. And looking out last year, as I had the opportunity to announce some bands on and things at the big stage there, it was fun to see the age difference in the audience. And I
Yeah.
mean, there were 80-year-old people sitting out there. There were 8-year-olds having a blast and enjoying your entertainment and music and just the fun and walking around and eating the festival type foods and checking out all the craft vendors. You have an immense amount of craft vendors. I couldn't believe how many you had there.
Yeah. I mean, and that's all really important to us. Like, so one thing when we took over Spring Fest, I was like, it was really important to support local artists and be that musicians, people that do, like fine arts, whatever. So all of our artists make their own stuff. You have to be a local business. It's not reselling, not any sort of like direct sales vendors at all. We also try to get as many like local bands. We try to balance, local community bands with some people that are, kind of fun to bring into Miamisburg as well. But it's like we're really trying to bring the community together and uplift as many people as we can.
And guys, if you're watching here at the noon hour, you can drop a comment in or you can drop a question in for Devin about the event. And one thing, Devin, this year we want to touch on is the event has had to move this year due to this renovation in the River Park, which is a beautiful location to have it. But you're taking it back to its old school days, and you're at a park in the center of Miamisburg.
Yeah, so we'll be back in Veterans Memorial Park. This was actually called Library Park in the past. It's where the very old library was. We've had a couple library moves since then. So it's Veterans Memorial Park. It's actually a passive park now just to honor the veterans, which is why we don't have events there. However, they are renovating Riverfront Park, and the plans are beautiful. You can see them online or down at the city building in Miamisburg, but it's going to be a really nice space and it should be ready. Like we'll be the first event in 2024 is what we are told. So I'm really, really excited for it. But this year, definitely come to Veterans Memorial Park. It's 426 East Central Avenue.
And what about parking down in that area? Is there any place specifically we should tell people coming in from out of town that they need to go park? Do you run a shuttle? What do you have going on?
Yeah, so Miamisburg does have a good amount of public parking lots. The lots in Riverfront Park are still open, which are normally closed for SpringFest weekend because we're there. So that is walkable. So downtown is walkable to Veterans Memorial Park. There's also several lots around town. And there's street parking all close to the park as well. So I would say, get there early, be prepared to walk a little bit. But the city's also put up these great parking maps. I can send you if you want, Scott, but these great parking maps of all the public lots in the city.
Perfect. Perfect. Now let's segue into my fun and games part of this, which I dearly love, is the amount of live local music you bring to Miamisburg at this festival. And it's a star-studded list this year of
Thanks.
local people who people love. I mean, you have done a band lineup that has an incredible following, and I'm looking forward to this. I think you really hit a home run with your lineup this year. And let's start out with, first of all, Friday night. Let's talk about what's going on Friday night, how you're going to open it, and then who's going to play.
Yeah, so Friday night we do our opening ceremony. So the mayor will come and talk. We have Miss Ohio singing the national anthem, and we'll do our scholarship presentations to our seniors who earned the SpringFest scholarship this year. And then our first band will be Authorized Personnel. That's the name of the band. That's been a little bit of a confusion, but they are so fun. It's a 7-piece. I would say like party dance music. They're very excellent. So Jane's on Main allowed us to bring them this year.
And you have sponsors who sponsor this all year long too. And let's touch on that and not forget that at the end, because it's so important to know that this is driven by sponsorship money. I mean, a lot of it is, especially the entertainment side. So Friday night, Authorized Personnel, they're a party band, man. If you want to come down Friday night to Miamisburg and have a great time, dance in the grass, have some good fun, that's going to be going on. And we're looking forward to working with them. Then on Saturday, this thing is kicking off at 10 a.m. in the morning with some big events. Talk about that.
Yeah, so our parade, so basically like our parade starts at 9:30. We end the parade in the park, and then we're right on the main stage around 10:30. And so we start off with the local dance companies. So Vicky Joe's and the Jeannie Moreland dancers go first, and the kids are just, they're so talented and they're so adorable. So we always
so cute.
Yeah, they're very
so cute.
So we got them, of course, Saturday morning. So this year we're actually adding like an acoustic stage and the main stage. So we'll kind of flip between. So our first acoustic act is Sarah Horstman, who I don't know if you've seen her before, but she's really been a breakout star at the open mics downtown. So she'll be first. And then our first main stage set is David Thornton, who is amazing.
Love David. Love David. Yeah, he's a talent.
Absolutely. So you got to come see him play the guitar. He is super good at guitar, which makes sense because it's his job, but it's like, wow, really incredible.
Yes.
We also go over, so then we're flipping back to the acoustic stage kind of in between acts. So Mandy Jewell is the next acoustic act, and she's actually from Miamisburg. So she said she's really excited to play in her hometown as well. Short of Stable, they play in the afternoon. They play every year. So they're real wonderful, big fan of them as well. I think they're like 3:30.
And they're providing some sound support as well, right?
Yeah, Mike and Tiffany always do the sound for all the bands. So Mike will be there all weekend if you want his autograph, or if you want to talk to him.
I'm going to get his autograph.
Yeah, absolutely. No, love Mike. He does a lot for us. So yes, they will be there the entire weekend. Right after them is Benny Bodine. I'm really excited to see him this year. I've only seen him a couple of times, but
Benny rocks.
Yeah, I've heard he's super good, and I mean, I've liked what I've heard. And then our Saturday night headliner from sponsored by Bennett's is Party Punch Band. I'm excited for all of them. I gotta keep saying that, but Party Punch Band, man, they're so fun. And I've went out and seen them a couple of times, so I'm so happy they were available for SpringFest.
Oh yeah, my man Brandon Harvey, Brian Schutz, Mike Miller and company, they rock it out. Party Punch they'll have the crowd going crazy on Saturday night.
Yeah, and they are. Brian actually lives in Miamisburg as well, so I was like, perfect. Yeah. Like, so keeping it hometown.
Yeah, I'll see them tonight at Heather's. They're always there for my Name That Tune. They're great people. You're going to enjoy it. If you haven't seen Party Punch yet, I highly recommend it. Their set list is amazing, and it's a party from the first note to the last note. So get out to the Burg, man, on Saturday night. That's going to be a good one. And then Sunday. Tell them about it, Evan.
Sunday, I know. And some people are like, Sunday's the slow day. No, Sunday is just as popular. Graduation's always also on Saturday. So Sunday's a really popular day to come out. So we keep it going. So Playtime is a band. If you're local to Miamisburg, you will know that Darren Staton plays his guitar outside the Hamburger Wagon regularly. So this is his band that he's bringing to the main stage, and we're happy to, give him this opportunity to kind of play in front of the whole community. So that'll be his band starting us off at noon.
Thank you, Sean Cooper. That's a nice statement he's making about you guys. Thank you.
fun. Yeah, appreciate that. And thanks for coming to SpringFest. Tessa Marie is somebody I met through you as well, Scott. She is so talented. So she's playing Sunday as well. And then, of course, Ben and Pete, we have them every year. They're local teachers in Miamisburg, and they're just such stellar musicians. So they
They're
will
a
be,
draw.
yeah,
They're a great draw.
yes. So, and they're so fun. So I'm really, really excited. Heath Bowling will be returning for us on the acoustic stage. And then our kind of closing act will be the Jay Clark Band this year, who I also met at Acoustapalooza. So
Awesome.
yeah.
And I got to give you a shout out. You guys, you give back on these funds that you collect from SpringFest. And a couple years ago, when we had 3 years ago, before COVID, when we had Acoustapalooza, you guys presented us a beautiful check, and we thank you for that. And that's given back to the community, and that went on and was passed on to juvenile diabetes programs at Dayton Children's. And you're heavily involved with Dayton Children's now, Devin. You are on the women's board, correct?
Yeah, I am. So we are partnering with the women's board this year, actually under the gazebo. So the women's board efforts this year are for mental health. They're building an additional mental health facility at Dayton Children's, which is incredibly needed, and it'll have a lot of services that we need for kids in the community. So SpringFest is going to be doing a match donation this year for everything they raise. So if you do a donation for one of our kids' activities, if you buy a raffle ticket for them or participate in the 50-50, that's all going towards this cause and towards our match. So I'm hoping to raise a lot of money for them this year, and provide some good activities while we're at it.
Well, it's a wonderful event, and it always is a huge draw, not only with people from Miamisburg, but people from all over the region come to this festival. And what better way to spend a day and walk around, have some great food, enjoy the craft vendors, and some live entertainment, which I dearly love. And one thing I'm looking forward to, Devin, and I got a chance last year as your MC to meet a lot of neat people from Miamisburg. Mm-hmm. The Miamisburg community comes together for these type of events and supports each other. The businesses downtown were so supportive of what you guys were doing, and sponsorships. The money that comes into this to sponsor the bands, the event is pretty significant.
Yeah, no, the community is wonderful. And I just wanted to mention too, like Sarah Denny's going to be back painting again. We're going to have, I know, beer and seltzer. We're going to have that all weekend this year. It's definitely a community effort. So yes, and love all the local businesses, and I'm excited to get back down on Main Street by them. So Jane and Bennett's Jane's on Main and Bennett's Publical, they always sponsor us. They're big supporters. Jane's actually our grand marshal this year in the parade. I know, she's so wonderful. Like, she's such a big support for SpringFest and of the community. So we're just so lucky to have her and Bennett. So, we try to go there once a week and eat dinner and drink some wine. We also have Good Time Charlie's is sponsoring Short of Stable again this year. Collins Realty is sponsoring us. First Financial Bank is always a really good supporter as well. We appreciate them. Heidelberg, they support our pub crawl. They give us all our supplies, but they're also a sponsor this year. Voss Auto Network. And then, of course, we are part of the Miamisburg Community Foundation. So we do raise money for them. We work as part of the Miamisburg Community Foundation. And the Parks and Rec Department for Miamisburg could not do it without them. Absolutely.
Spectacular, Devin. What else do you want to share about this big event going on? And again, it's up on the screen. Friday from 5 to 9, Saturday 10 to 9, Sunday noon to 6, SpringFest in Miamisburg. What else do you want to share about it?
Okay, I just remember two things. So the Adamus Board is actually sponsoring our kids tent this year. So that's Addiction and Mental Health Services in Montgomery County. They're sponsoring our kids tent for Dayton Children's and helping us raise that money. And you can also hear about us on K99.1 FM as well. So I hope you guys all come down for the weekend. I'll be there the whole time if you want to see me. And it's going to be real fun. Scott will be there MCing. He's going to do amazing. Yeah, we're both going to be there. Scott is... By
Sunday, we'll be the zombies walking around. Right?
I know. Scott, you do so amazing. I'm so grateful you could come back. It really just transformed the event to have you there and have somebody that kind of, you know what you're doing professionally, but it's also it's just so helpful. And you do a great job, and everybody really, really appreciated you. So
well, thank you. I appreciate that very much.
Yeah.
I need to have you on all the time. I love you for those great accolades. Thank you, Devin.
Anytime.
But you and Dan are spectacular people, but you have a tribe that your circle of people who love, live, and support Miamisburg.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the coolest things that I get to see there. It is a team. And when something even slightly would go wrong or something would need to be done, this team just appears. And it's like, it's amazing to me how much work and labor of love you guys put into this. And I know you've been extremely busy this week, especially trying to do the final touches. So hats off to you and your team, Devin.
Thanks. Can I shout out my team real quick?
You shout out anybody you want.
All right. So me and my husband, Dan, we work on this committee. So Brandy Schneider, Heather Matthews, Maddie Fyatt, Mandy Baker, and Rhonda Vinson. They're all our core committee. My mom and sisters, so Beth, Nancy, and Katie, they help us do all the beer. Eric Flasher does the whole parade, and he does a great job with it. Allison and Rachel and Ryan at the city really, really help us. I feel like I might be forgetting some other people. But everybody who helps us, I mean, it's a ton of people, and everybody just jumps in and they provide whatever support. My best friend, Louisa, she comes down and helps me the whole weekend. So I just appreciate everybody and helping us make this happen. And yeah, it's not just me. So
well, and Devin, I'm going to say this. If anybody comes to the parade and give me that time on the parade again, 9 a.m. is it?
It's 9:30 steps off.
Okay. 9:30 step off, then ends up at the park, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I want to encourage you, if you come to the parade, don't just grab your kid and run off. Go to the park, enjoy some great food, and watch these young ladies from the local dance studios, because last year, behind the scenes, behind the stage, I got the biggest kick out of these little girls who were just so excited about performing in front of a big audience. And it is a big audience right after that parade there. And that makes your day. If you just see those smiling little faces and how hard these little girls worked and guys have worked to get out there and dance in front of people with their routines, it's priceless. And then stay for the music and enjoy a day in Miamisburg, right?
Yes, please do.
All right.
They have an antique fire truck this year, Scott. You might like that.
I'm sure I will.
Yeah.
I'm sure I will. And there's going to be a lot of things going on, and there's so much. It's almost like a 3-ring circus. There's so much happening. I mean, you can go anywhere in the corner of that park and see something else and something new. Bring the kids, have fun, enjoy your day. And, Mother Nature is going to cooperate with us. I'm convinced we're going to have a great weekend, and hopefully all these bands are going to get to go and do their thing. And Devin, I'm looking so forward to working with you again, and Dan and your company there. And let's have a great weekend in Miamisburg. What do you say?
Yes, absolutely. Thanks so much.
All right. Well, thank you for being with me today, guys. You've been talking with Devin Douglas here, who is co-chair with her husband, Dan, of SpringFest in the Burg. It's going on this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at what's called Veterans Park, the formerly known as Library Park in Miamisburg. And that'll be going on each day. And our times on that, let me give you the times one more time here. 5 to 9 on Friday, 10 to 9, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. on Saturday. Actually, the parade at 9:30, and Sunday, noon to 6, with some great bands. And you've got a hell of a band lineup. I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks, me too.
All right, we'll see you then. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll catch you next time here at All Around Town Radio. We'll be back with you tomorrow at 5 live with Who's Playing Out, brought to you by Froggies in Monroe, Ohio. We'll see you then, peeps. Have a great day. Enjoy yourself and get out and support live local music and the bands and venues